Hello and welcome back. I was going to come back. Um, I meant to come back later, but I got some more time. So, um, yeah, I was went out to have dinner and then I came back and I made some changes to our setup here. I was watching a tutorial by Simon Houdini just now, like 10 minutes ago. And he broke down pretty much how to do this coloring in cops. And I think he has a really cool technique. Um, and, just head over to his website or to his YouTube. It's the video is called Houdini Cops Terrain Texturing Tutorial Basics, and that really helped me out a lot. And it was just so I did some modifications to what we had before. I made the height field smaller. It was 1000 before, and I repainted it again because when you paint it, you gotta reset the strokes, and otherwise it keeps the same painting you had before. Then we had the noise, and then I added a little bit more noise on the flat parts, just overall. And added the height field erode that will actually give us these features here: height, mask, debris, flow, all that stuff. And then this is an additional one, flow field. And then in the tutorial, he goes over it, Simon, and pretty much you can grab any mask and create a feature from it. So he used a copy layer, and then mask by feature. I just kind of grabbed the selection here as well. And then I can actually bring it here, and I'll name this plants. And then this is going out into cops, and this is clearing out all the masks so we don't see any previews of this. And the quick shade is just for previewing the cops network. So if we jump into cops, he brings it in with the SOP import. You got to convert that to a layer, GO2 layer. The height field for the color, it needs to be, for certain colors, it needs to be, or should I say for color, it needs to be equalized. Otherwise the values are like way too much. And then, but for the ambient occlusion, which is this one here, let's see, am I previewing? Oh, okay, I have to pin this view here so we can see it. So let's pin this view, go back. This is what the ambient occlusion looks like. And then, because if you have it on quantize, like, I mean, you could still make it work, but it's a little bit, it's averaged out to 0 and 1. So I just have it like this. And then for that, I just scaled it up by a lot. So we could do like 80. And then this whole setup that he does is pretty neat because the only thing you're doing is just stacking a bunch of hue saturation value adjust, HSV adjust, and you're just stacking them and then bringing in some of the layers. So I have in this first one, so if we were to take a look here, this first one's just this noise here, right? And then the coloring, you're changing it through the hue. Then if we take a look at the next stack, we're adding, this is just a height field on its own. It's not doing that much for me right now. And then we're doing the ambient occlusion, which adds a lot of, dirt and grit into it. And then the last one is the flow field. And right here. And we can keep stacking them like he was saying. So if we go and instead we'll bring in the last one. And then the mask is going to be the water. Let's see what we can get with that. So there's something going on here. You kind of see a little bit similar to the flow field. But yeah, that's pretty much how you would sort of texture with cops, the height field stuff. Oh, and when you import the GO2 layers, just press set import from geometry. So I added one more, which was the plants, I think. So now we have this plant layer here. And then this is still not the color I want. I don't know, like a bluish. We'll see. And then HSV adjust, drop it in here, and then we'll connect the plants one that I have here. The easiest way to see it is the value shift. That's how we can see it right away. And let me make this bigger. Yeah, just mess around with it. All right. All right, so the final output is that one. So let's save this. And we got like some basic texturing here. Before we just had like a green color overall, and that wasn't doing anything for us. All right. So what else do we have here? So then the other things I guess we can do is get the height field scatter, and then we'll grab different parts of it, of those features, to scatter the points, so then we can copy our geometry. So height field scatter. So if I wanted to do this one right here, I could see that that's already in the correct spot. Let me take a look at that layer again. I used the wrong scatter. High field scatter. Terrain. And which one is this on the mask? All right, so now in the red spots is where all the points are. Perfect, and that's what we want. So max points here, we can add more. I'm not really seeing the difference here. Let's go back and revert to defaults. All right, let's check it out. Let's try to copy some of our plants. So this is our plant here. Just copy it here. I don't want to get it messy with a bunch of network lines connected. All right, so now in all those red areas is where we see our pieces of geometry. And in the height field scatter, we could change the different things from it. So I guess the coverage, the outer area is like how dense you can make those sections. Let's go back to 0.5, I think it was. So you can randomize the up axis, the yaw. It's quite heavy right now. Let's do 1. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So yeah, you can see where all these are getting distributed, and that's coming from this mask right here. So now we could just do a null. Out plants. And let's try another thing, mask by feature. Invert mask, and then this is where we can put the grass. So we'll do height field copy layers, and we'll put grass. And now if we take a look at the setup here, not this one. Did we import grass here? I don't think so. Let's go in here, and we had grass here. Copy it. I'm just waiting on the UI. Give me like 1 second, or actually give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna go grab some water. I ran out of water. I'll be right back. All right. So where were we? Let's go back into land here, and we had the grass. Let's import that in. Something like that. It's weird. It's like very light. Wonder why. Just waiting on the viewport to update. This is pretty heavy. If it's too dense, I might need to lower the count of the grass. I feel like it's showing the wrong part. Let's go back in here. Yeah, it should be showing this stuff here, but it's not. I'm wondering if I have to pack this. So I feel like it's not keeping the clusters. So if I pack this, and then we'll just color it. Color it before. And we still have all this. Let's do delete all. Okay, yeah, we had to pack it because the high field scatter can recognize the separate pieces, and it just kind of just throws them away, I guess. So now we got like nice patches of grass. All right, let's take a look. Let's go back. Hey, how's it going? Jiresh Shahid? Is that how you pronounce your name? Sorry if I didn't pronounce it right. It's still looking like single pieces. Hopefully Karma XP doesn't crash on me. Okay, yeah, nothing showing up. I'll just turn off the Karma XPU, save the file. That way we don't lose everything we did in the last 10 minutes. Let me close this. Shoot. What is happening? All right. We're probably gonna have to start Houdini up again. Because it's gonna crash. Yeah, I might have to force quit this. Let's give it like 30 seconds. See if it comes back to life. All right, okay. Oof. Let's save this out. And we'll lower the amount of points by a lot because it's the viewport is light, but then when I try to render it, I feel like it's gonna blow up. So let's go to the scatter and we'll do 4. This is too much. Let's do 3. 2. I think 2 works. And let's go ahead and save that again. Let's go up a level. Yeah, every time I jump back to Solaris, it like hangs up a little bit. Now it's much better. Yeah, I might be over my head right now with this environment. I might have to simplify it even further, like make the size of it way smaller. And maybe I can just hide things with like vegetation or like a tree or something. Just kind of hide it on the side so we don't have to see so wide. Oh, shoot, I know what's happening here. I forgot to disconnect the grass blades that I already had from the other thing here. There it is. All right, so let's render this. Okay. That's looking okay. Let's bring in the geometry. Let me turn off these materials for now. And it's, oh, I have to convert the height field. Height field convert. Let's go back. I believe that's what it was. So we weren't seeing the mountain there. All right. Let's remove the selection there and okay, cool. And then if we render it now with the lighting, I think the dome light's just way too bright or something. Let's turn it off for now. See what it looks like. Okay. Maybe I rotate this 90. Or negative 90. That's a little too much. And then I can do like negative 48 on the angle. Let's keep turning this. Let's do 180. Let's turn these off for now, and instead of using the dome light and the distant, let's do a, we type in sky, we can see we have Karma Dome or physical sky. Let's try physical sky. It's my alarm. I was supposed to be on at 9, but I got in earlier. Interesting. Okay, let's see what's happening with our color. Do we just gotta, I think we just gotta apply this one to a material. Let's go back to stage and let's turn this off as well. Let's turn on our materials back. I really just only have one right now. Let's dive inside the material library. I'll just duplicate this. We'll dive inside here and we'll bring in, what was it? Just, I guess we can do an image. Why is it taking so long? All right. And then we'll copy paste our cops location where the final output is. And here, OP, the two little dots. And then we can connect this here and hopefully it'll look correct. You know, we haven't applied it yet, so we gotta definitely apply it. Let's go in here and bring in our land. What is the name of this thing? We got a volume or height. I guess is the height. Oh, whoops. Let's create a new material, like slot. And we'll pick the material, mountain. I hope it works. Yeah, it's not working. Let's disconnect some things here so it could just start loading a bit faster. So we have the UV quick shade. I'm guessing we can try the color. So if we go on our material here, we can try color. No, it's not really giving us what we need. So we got the UV map there. Like that. We have the map here. Then we're outputting that. But it's not showing up. Let's see what the import settings here. Attributes. What if we just put a star? Just bringing everything in. Oh, that messed it up. Okay, so all right, what we can do is just add a group. We'll add a group and we'll name it what, ground? Or we name it mountain. We're naming it mountain. Go up. And we'll go in here and under subset groups, click on mountain. Then if we look at here, we should see mountain. Bring that in. And this is our material here, but it's just coloring it green. And if we render it, it looks green. Let's go back in here. Let's bring in the base color. And we're using that texture map from Cops. I'm wondering what I am doing wrong that it's not working properly. Let's go back. Let's pin this view and let's go back one more time. Okay, let's go back in here, see what's going on. So we have the quick shade that's giving us the proper colors here. I'm wondering, do I have to bake this out? I shouldn't have to bake it out. It should be working live. Oh, I got an error. Let's delete this. Let's go bake setup. I've never used this, but let's see how it works. Size ref. I really don't want to bake it. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? If I just get this, copy this, or does the cop setup need to be in Solaris, like in here? I don't think it does, but we can try that. I doubt that's what it would be. Or let's copy inside just to make sure. Let's go back. Put cop network. Paste this in here. And then in here, copy this. Go back up. We'll copy that. Let's also reset the viewport just to make sure. I'm probably doing something wrong. Let me check real quick. Side effects. There's a PE, was a height field material. Let me check. Let's go in here. Cop preview material. Actually, never seen that one. All right. Let's see. It's showing white. cop, and then let's throw in the network here. All right, let's see if we go back now. It's working in SOPs, but we're not getting our materials to show. Tint with CD. Let's see what other material we have here. I'm wondering how I can apply the cops here into the actual shader in Solaris. Kind of having a little bit of a block. So let's see what we can find online. I'm looking for karma, cops, material. So I'm still new to cops, the new cops, and to height fields. So this is kind of a challenge for me. I don't really use these nodes often, or at all actually. Cops for some simple stuff more recently, but nothing like super advanced. I wonder if, I saw one thing. We go back. There's a quick surface material. If I add that, so let's see, where can we add the path? Create parameters. Color map. So if we create one here, we put P. Still not showing up. Just want to test out with an image. And then primitive path, okay, and then custom. Assign material. How to fill materials. Yeah, we'll just delete the quick shade because that's not working. All right. I am going to see what other thing we can do because I can't solve this right now. We're using the correct stuff here. And then color. If we use color, it doesn't even get applied either. Nothing here. Nothing here. What about if I switch renders completely and do redshift? Or I know I don't have the correct materials, but sometimes it works. So redshift is working. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, there's something really weird. It's showing up properly with redshift, but when I switch to Karma or Karma XPU, Karma CPU and Karma XPU, it doesn't show the texture at all. So I do have it set up correctly. I feel like it's a bug or something. Seeing Karma, is something being overwritten? Is that probably why? Let's go and attribute delete all this stuff here. Let's delete everything. Maybe something was being overridden. Okay, now it's just regular. Let's go back into the materials and do color. Nope. What other image can we use here? It's just green. Why? And then it stays green. Let's do karma. I'm gonna restart Houdini. Let's save this. Let's close and start Houdini again. Okay, so Houdini is, I feel like it's having some issues with viewing that. If I render it with Octane, nothing shows up. If I render it with Redshift, the texture shows up magically. And then Karma XPU is just green. Same thing with Karma CPU. I'm sure it's like some simple feature that it's just not loading properly. So I guess to combat this, what we can probably do is, instead of making it a daytime, we make it a nighttime. And maybe that can, at least we can try to get away with us not being able to properly set up a texture. That's so dumb from here. All right. I know it's something that I'm not even sure if I'm doing correctly. Like, it looks fine. It looks fine just like that. But when we try to see it, let's do something. How about we write this texture out? We'll do a ROP. All right, this is the last resort because I can't do it live for some reason. Let's remove this merge for now. Let's clear all the materials. Let's add our little mountain. Or land, I should say. And then we'll add the mountain material and it's green. Why are you green? And it shouldn't be green this way either, because was it the subsurface? Oh my goodness, don't tell me that was it. Oh my god. You see? So I had it like this. And then that was it. Alright, well, we solved it. Such a ridiculous mistake there. Alright. Now we can continue with the rest of the stuff. Let's go back and go into our view. We can go into our camera. We kind of switched around our setup here. And instead of doing this wide angle, I'm gonna do 80 and then just step back a little bit. And I think I want to give it some more geometry resolution. Let's go back in here, and now we can actually get our color from here and not the texture we rendered. Because now I know it's working. And we'll go inside here, and let's go into our height field, grid spacing. Let's do 0.5. It just took a little bit because we had to do the erode and all that. Let's go back. All right. So render Karma Physical Sky. Okay, we got something going on here. Let's do adding some definition there. Yeah, something like that. All right, perfect. Let's now turn this off, and we'll bring in the rest of the geometry we had set up. We'll get these two guys here, bring them in. It's gonna take a little bit to load, but we should be good. Okay, so now we can do a test render. Gotta wait for our objects to start loading. Yeah, in the meantime, we can check out Mardini 2026. All right. Let's see what they have for today. environment. Let's see what everybody's doing. Why isn't it loading? Let's refresh. Load. That's weird. Yeah, none of the images are loading. Let's refresh. Can we just see them from here then? No. What if I go to yesterday's? Yeah, none of the images are working. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Let's look at the animation. It's like a donut world. Or a bagel. Let's see what else we got here. Cool. Let's see if this is nice. Let's see what else they got. Oh, that looks interesting. This looks good. That's awesome. Alright, let's see. It loaded up. Let's do a Karma XPU. I don't know if I want trees way up there. That looks, or those plants that I have there. I think I just want them in the bottom. But it's looking okay. Let's mess around here with the camera. Four errors. See viewer. It's like the moment I let go of the zoom, it like wants to calculate something. All right, so I'm going to start optimizing the scene because I could barely do anything in this setup. So what I'm gonna do is just have the actual ground separate, and then I'm going to, or the background mountain separate, and then I'll set up the other stuff in a separate location. So I'm disconnecting our scattered stuff. So we're gonna work off of just a simple camera location. We're gonna lock in that camera, move our objects around, get it to look nice, I guess, in that setup. And then we'll paint the grass and all that stuff only in the areas that are close to the camera. Everything else further than that, I think we're just gonna discard. And then we could do something stylistic with the rendering. As soon as this updates, as you can see, I cut the wire here and it's still kind of loading. It's just too heavy. Even just on my 4090, it's just pretty heavy. It's not really worth wasting the time to try to brute force, you know, an angle and all that stuff. So we'll just work on an angle, kind of start decorating our scene from that point of view, and then we'll start scaling up whatever is around camera. Right now it's just way too heavy to process, so we'll just wait a little bit more for the viewport to update. All right, there you go. So it updated, and now what I want to do is we'll do a height field paint, and we're gonna bring in that copy layer here, and instead we're gonna do that mask here for the paint. And actually we'll do a clear as well. We'll clear the mask, clear mask. We'll put it right before the paint. And then let's go back real quick and let's just kind of pick a location. Let's go here. Yeah, we shouldn't have any instances. Our viewport looks like it still is kind of has some stuff that's cached that's not really what we're supposed to see. So I'll give it a second again. I'm gonna reset the viewport, and then hopefully we're good to keep moving. Otherwise, I'm gonna simplify it even further with, you know, with the environment. Might just do something very simple. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah, these are things that normally hasn't happened to me with the other projects from day 1 through 4. I guess this one because it has so many instances. Alright, let's keep looking at some of these. Let's see what happened with the images. I'm not really sure why the Mardini are not loading for me. Like it loads here, but it doesn't load in the other way. All right, so it's up. Okay, perfect. So let's just pick an angle of a location that we want the mountain to kind of be at. Maybe we can go back to a wider view. Let's go into, we are on camera view here. Let's go into a little bit wider view. I guess something maybe like this. So let's keep this camera here. And instead, so we said we were gonna paint some areas. So high field paint. Let's get our little paint stuff here. We'll do radius of 5. And where was our camera? Let's go. Okay, so it's kind of like in this section here. We can paint some stuff around here. See how that looks. Okay, let's look at the scatter. Let's also clear the mask here. Why is it showing up on that side? All right. Let's bring in those plants. Okay, so I kind of have the area that I want. Let's pin this, and then we'll start adding some more density in here. So we'll put 0.5 on the outer radius. And then I might want some in the foreground as well. So we can turn off the render, unpin the view, go back into our painting here. I think that was a little too big. Let's reduce the radius and zoom out. Let's just get the height paint only. Okay, and then let's lower it. Is it because of the resolution? Let's bring the resolution to 2. I'm wondering if that makes a difference. If the mask will actually stick. Even when It's weird. It's kind of hanging up. Let's reset strokes and let's start again. Oh, I see. It's because I have this view open. Let's get out of that view. Now it's fast because I had the scene graph tree open, and then anytime that I was painting, it was actually calculating all the new scatters that were coming into view. So now we can do opacity here a little bit lower. All right, let's go back. Take a look at our new scattered stuff. Let's see. So let's work on some of the scaling here for the scatters. Let's go into in here and then is this the scale? What if I put 0.2 or 0.5 and then put 1 or 2 and 0.2 or 0.02. I think we're getting somewhere. Let's see what else we can do. Maybe we should start introducing the clouds. Okay, and then it's clipping our view here, so let's just go into 0.00501 and let's do 1000 and let's save this. Yeah, this session's pretty slow today. Not that many people have showed up, but it's all right. This is just the process of creating the Mardini 2026 day 5, was it? 5. So if we take a look at it now, I think I'm kind of happy with this right now, with this layout, and we can possibly introduce some depth of field. So we could put like 1.5 f-stop. And then the distance. Yeah, we're just gonna try to get away with maybe blurring out a little bit of the background, 4.5. That way at least you don't see a lot of the issues we have with geometry and instances and all that stuff. So let's bring in our clouds now. And we'll get a merge. So if we were to look at our cloud on its own, let's see where it's at and how big it is. Because I don't think it's big enough right now for what we need. Right, and the scale needs to be like 500. No, that's way too much. 200. And then we like push it back, not rotate. Oh well, we'll do that like this. And let's merge it in here. Let's take a look. Oof, that's super dense. Let's pin this view. Let's go into our VDB visualizer and we can lower the density. I think it should update there. If not, we need to add a volume. Yeah, so we might need to add just a karma volume. Yeah, karma volume it is. Let's go back. And right now it looks pretty bad, but we're gonna be messing around with the lighting. So then we can start shaping this environment shot. Karma unified volume. And I'm gonna apply it to that right here. But let's go back. Let's just make sure we're assigning it correctly. Let's make this, call this cloud. All right. Let's save. All right, so now we will go to our scene, which is what we need to do, and then add our new material. We'll add another one for the plants. And we'll get our clouds, drop it in there, and then we'll pick out our material and drop it, let's see. We gotta make sure we update here. Clouds, and then we get the cloud right here. All right, and then the other thing was the plant. So if we do under land, oh, it's gonna be all these objects. So let's drop that in and just add a star to where the number is. And then we'll get our plant. Our green material. Click OK. Now save this out. All right, so now we can try to do the render, and we're pinned. And let's get into the cloud. It's a pyro shader, and the density we could just start dropping it. We'll start getting some updates on it. Let's remove the I'm not sure if that's affecting it, the volume visualizer. So let's just turn that off. Okay, and then we'll go back, go to the material, go to our cloud. Our cloud is still super dense. I'm wondering if that didn't work. Oh, you know what? I selected the wrong piece of geometry. I put clouds, but it's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be volume, and the volume is right here. I think that might be the issue. Let's try it. I mean, it shouldn't be, because everything, it should have shaded everything under that part right there. So let's go back. Our clouds are gone, so 0.001. There it is. Okay, so that's what it is. It's just very small increments. I'm gonna put 0.1. Yeah, 0.1 is already too much. And I think it's because we scaled the cloud. I'm not sure if that changes anything. Let's go and put like maybe 0.05. So we'll do 0.05. Okay, that's getting better. So 0.02. Okay, it's getting somewhere. 1.5. Okay, I think I like that size or that density amount. And we still gotta kind of move things around because right now it looks like it's like too close. And if we go in here, let's start messing around with the cloud shape. Okay, so something like this. Let's go. So we're doing a lot of point separation, and we're gonna do a lot of length as well. Initial size, but that's just the overall size. So point separation. I'm wondering, let me see if I have to change the cloud species because right now it's just way too big. All right, and obviously let's remove this. Let's just leave here. Yeah, I'm just trying to mess with the cloud to see how I can spread it a little bit better. Let's do. I'm wondering if this is gonna work. This is not something you would normally do. but you can spread them more. And if we turn this to BDBs, then add the cloud noise. This might be too heavy. We'll see how long this takes with the cloud noise. Rebuild SDF 56%. Let's just cancel it. Let's go back in here. Let's do a different cloud. Let's do this one. All right, let's try this one now. I might need to scale up the minimum scale. There's like really tiny ones here. Like little spheres that we may just not want to use. Looks like it's almost done. I think the last part is executing volume vex. Right here in the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. This is a really heavy cloud. Let's close this out. Let's start a new one. Cloud, generate shape. We get this thing right here. Then we bring that in. Then we do the exploded view. We did that. And then our cloud noise. Okay. Yeah, there was no need to make it so big in width. I had like a bunch of stuff. Let's up the minimum size. I might need to have them connect a little more. This is probably too much separation. Let's just take a quick look. Just loading. This is loading up the viewport, and it's take a look. Right here, camera 5. Okay, we're gonna have to push the clouds back a lot. Let me see. There is, I feel like there is a shelf tool for the clouds. I think I have to add it here. I'm wondering if they already have a setup that I can tweak. Cloud effects. Big sky rig. Maybe that's the one I might want to use. Oh, it doesn't work. Why? Is it because I'm in Solaris? Let's go to object. Nope, doesn't work. Alright, well, that sucks. Never mind. We'll go back to Solaris. Stage. And let's reduce the size of our cloud. Not that low, but I had it at 200 and I just put the slider all the way to about size 6. So it's gonna be a tiny cloud, but we're gonna bring it back up. All right, let's see. It's still loading. There, now it's a little tiny square there. Let's put 100. And I might just want to disconnect the land and stuff just so it doesn't have to calculate everything. Let's take a quick look at the render now. That's a bit better. I guess we can start kind of duplicating that cloud setup and then just moving the cloud around. Or making it like longer. I'm not sure what you guys think. But let's go close to the cloud and let's pretend it's like right here, how we have it set up. And let's add a merge. Let's duplicate this whole cloud setup. And let's just try to make this one also the first one we did right here. Let's make it a little longer. Let's try one more. Okay, and let's do a transform. Merge this in. And then let's rotate it 180. Bring it up a notch. And then we'll duplicate that as well, merge it in. I'm just trying to fill it up in the most efficient way. I'm assuming this is just going to calculate once and then, well, just one time and then just rotate and translate. All right, let's see what that looks like. Just wait for some things to load down here. It's going to load up the updates to the clouds we made. And let's take a look. Render. And then because we don't have the proper volume selected for the shader, let's remove this. Hopefully it'll work. go. So now that's working. And maybe we could tweak the lights, the caramel physical sky. Let's start just tweaking some parameters here. I'm going like a little drastic just to see how things are moving. Yeah, hopefully it looks interesting to you guys. It's very simple. I mean, this is just a daily challenge. I've probably spent 3 hours on this. I went over my budgeted time of 2 hours that I've been setting for all these different scenes. So this one was the one that I did yesterday, day 4, the architecture. I think this one was pretty fun. I tried out a few things that I've never used before. And then this one, aquatic, that was day 3. This was pretty cool too. This one's my favorite so far. This was day 2. Oh, sorry, this was day 3. And day 2, this one by far was my favorite. And it was the most simple. Once you had the spider made, like I could just instance it and rotate the instances and then just play around with the lighting. Also added some hair in there, which I'd never used before, so it's pretty cool. And then this one's the plant day 1. This one I had some issues with the way it was being set up, but I figured it out. But yeah, that's kind of the progress. We're in day 5. We're trying to get out a render. I think I'm gonna move the clouds more towards the left, so, and maybe lower them a little bit so they go behind the mountain here. So we can start by doing that. We'll lower them by maybe 50. Let's see how far it goes. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's push it to 25. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think the clouds are gonna be as is. I'm kind of running out of time today, and let's angular size. Let's see what this setting does here, and let's also go into the shader. Let's save this out, and we'll go into the shader of the plant and make it less subsurface scattering. So go in here, and then we'll go into the subsurface and put 0.2. I think it's like a little bit too much. Yeah, I need to make it a little bit more green. Let's go into, let's pin this view, go back, go into our land. No, was it land? No, it was right here in our, this was the leaf section stuff. I believe it was this one. If I turn this off, what will happen? I think it was this node. I think it might just be the sun that's not really giving it like a nice color. It's kind of making it pale. And also probably the specular on it might need to be lowered. And the branching is gonna need to be a little bit darker as well. Oh, what happened there? Our stuff just disappeared. Okay, let's unpin this. Let's zoom in. So this is our setup here. Let's see if we mess around with it a little bit. And then the stem here, we can make that darker. Why is this blocked? Why is all this blocked? There it is. That was weird. And then I can copy, I'll copy this color. And then in our why is this showing up? All right, and then we need to transfer. This is just copy. Not sure what why this one's not letting me output color. I think this node needs that. Right? But this doesn't look right. Let's see. All right, let's just not pack it. And then we'll go out, go back. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with this here. Let's see. Yeah, this one I'm having a lot of issues with, just because it's so heavy. But I kind of want to just maybe upres the render, upres the mountain, and then call it a day with that. Oh, I see what happened. Let's go back. We definitely gotta have things packed because the scatters from the height fields, they treat each piece as its own thing. So let's make sure when we go into, I keep going to the wrong one. It's this one here. Let's just pack it, go back, and we should be getting our geometry loaded properly now. There we go. And we're back. And why is it not rendering now? All right. We have some little problems now coming up. It could be just the Karma XPU. So we can change it to CPU and see what happens. All right. And then we assign the materials. Let's see what CPU does. Okay. And then Karma, physical sky. Let's also make it smaller because why do we have two? Let's do physical sky 3. All right. Camera. That might be too bright. Let's go 1, and instead we're gonna go into the camera settings and change the exposure to like 1 instead of the actual light. We'll go 2. All right, let's mess around here. No, I don't like that. Let's add some more. Yeah, let's leave it like that and let's move this one around. Solar altitude. So we're lowering the sun. That's probably too low, but let's see what else. Trying to get the sun to like peek through here. To 10. All right, something like that. Let's go to exposure to like 4. Wow. 3. Let's do 2, and then we're actually gonna go into let's go back into the subsurface. I kind of want to see more subsurface. So instead of 0.2, we'll do 0.1 on scale. Let's see how much more we can get. Zero 0.05. Zero 0.005. Not sure how it's gonna look. Yeah, now it's starting to look pretty flat. What if I change the color here to a lighter one? Yeah, let's make sure we put 0.1. I think it was 0.2, but let's check 0.1 again. Yeah, that's just gonna look a little bit better. And then let's move the clouds around a bit. Let's rotate them into 0 now. We had it on like 85. Let's do 180. How about we do 0 and then we move the sun a little bit higher to be like over here. So we can go and move the sun. Altitude, we'll do 12. Let's reduce the intensity. Okay, so a little bit higher, so 15. I think that's a perfect height. And then we can do intensity of 1. And then we'll go back to the exposure and put 1. Let's put 0 exposure and we'll add a dome light to see if we can fill up some more 0.2. Nah, I don't know if I like. It just kills the mood. So let's bring the, actually we rotate the clouds to 85, or was it negative 85? I think it was 85. If not, we'll just go back, and then we're gonna lower the sun as well if it's getting covered. So I'm just waiting now for the update. Okay, so let's bring down the sun a little bit. I think we had it at like 7. Okay, something like that. It's kind of cool. And then let's go to exposure and put 1 on the exposure. Let's see, and then the karma, let's do 2. The karma physical sky, we'll do intensity of 2. What if we zoom out just a little bit, 24 millimeter? What about 80? No. Let's do 45. 30. Crazy. It's like any little tweaks, it'll... Let's go back. All right, this is our... Shoot, I messed up the position. All right, let's go back into just viewing the land. It's pretty crazy how heavy this scene is. And I feel like I don't have too much stuff going on. Just these instances. We could try this view. And then let me update here the render. All right, while we wait, we can see what else got submitted. I think I'm gonna have to open this in a different browser. None of the stuff is loading here. I'm gonna try Edge. Yeah, it's not working. I don't know if any of you guys have the same issue. This is the forum here. I'm gonna put it in the chat. I don't know if it's showing up for you guys, but for me, none of the thumbnails are showing up. All right, let's reset the viewport. Let's get the camera in there. Or let's okay, so for some reason it wasn't showing up. Let's go back. Camera. Yeah, so our camera is showing the wrong position. And let's make sure we have enough for the far. There it is. Well, that I don't understand what's happening here. It's let's just put a grid down. That's crazy. I have the grid and then this is not showing up. Let's refresh the viewport. I'm having like GPU issues right now. Oh no. All right. I think Houdini crashed. So let's open it back up. I'm just waiting for it to open back up. It's opening up my other monitor. All right, let's go back. So hopefully everything was saved. Yeah, the loading of the thumbnails might just be something to do with my browsers because it's loading for me on the phone. Yeah, I think because I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, I think I'm having some issues with the GPU or bandwidth. Something's happening. Like even my view here is kind of getting bogged up. So if there's no progress going on here, I'm gonna probably close out the stream and then I'll just finish it off. It could be the GPU, something with the GPU and the stream. So yeah, I'm getting another crash. I'm just gonna close it out. Let's open it one more time. I have the viewport on manual, so it's nothing is loading yet. And I'll go in here and I'll disconnect the instances for now, so we can get our position back, and then we'll disconnect the cloud as well because that takes long to load. And let's auto update now. Okay, so let's save this. Perfect. I think this is where we left off, that it was okay. And let's pin this. No, let's not pin it. Let's turn off the Karma XPU. Go in here and let's add some resolution to our height map. We'll do 0.5 as our final resolution. Okay, so if we take a look now we have some denser geometry. Let's go back. We'll do a test render. Looks a little bit better. And let's put it on manual again. Get our clouds. Get our instances back in there. We'll go back. So select the camera. We'll save this out like this. And then we'll set it from manual to auto update. And we'll render this image, do a quick tweaks in cops, and call it a day. I'm kind of ready to move on with tomorrow's. With tomorrow's entry. So this is the part that's going to take a while to load, but we'll just wait. All right. And that's not really the camera angle that I wanted. Maybe if I put 0 on here, moves it up a little bit. Let's do a quick test render. $105. I'm just kind of moving the camera a little bit. 106. Negative 248. Negative 255. Maybe something like this. Let's keyframe our position and rotations. That way, if we move the camera accidentally, we can jump back when we were at. And then I think let's add 2. Let's see, go back. Let's make sure that we have our camera locked in. Otherwise, we're just moving our view. Let's go back to the transforms and then make keyframes for those. Or actually, let's delete them. Now let's keyframe them just to make sure. And let's render. I mean, this view is okay, but like we did this whole terrain for it not to be seen. It's kind of not I guess doesn't do it justice to all the work we put into it. Let's see the display. Let's put 1 million, save as default. Let's go to Karma CPU, see if we can pick a spot that looks better. I feel like that's even slower. Let's turn it off for now. Let's instead, get our instances here, and instead of doing this, let's do a switch real quick. Switch, and we'll reference link that, and then we'll go into a line. Connect those two, put switch to 2. All right, this is really annoying with all these instances. Wow. I would have thought it loaded quicker, and it seems like it's just taking a really long time. Houdini's hogging 64 gigs of RAM right now. And the CPU load is 55, which is really weird. Let's close this out again. Yeah, landscaping like this with height fields and instances is... I gotta figure out the optimization for that because it's pretty heavy. Let's go and open our file again. I probably should have put it on manual. Okay, so it's okay. Let's disconnect this one. I don't want that to be calculated, and this one either. Now let's look at this. Okay, it's already on manual, thankfully. Let's delete these. And let's tidy up this layout here. Whoops. Right here. All right, I think I'm gonna call it a day here. I don't think it's worth streaming like these issues that I'm having. So I will cut the stream and I'll submit my final before 12 because I got like 40 minutes left. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow for that other, I think it's the miniature. So whoever, everybody that stayed for as long as they did, thank you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.